You and I as the Israelites, have to war within yourselves and against your own fleshly lust. You have to war with worldly temptation. With all the spiritual energy you can muster, war for the kingdom of Yah.
We aim and shoot scriptural bullets at demon troops. I'm just spitting truth. Look at yourself if it's staying you. Release yourself when the lies and the doctrine you clinging to. Repenting mean the path that you walk and you see it through. That mean you gotta switch up your people, leaving the crew. That mean you gotta watch what you say and watch what you do. But until you see the truth.
Shalom, 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 shalom to the house of Israel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shabbat shalom to the house of Israel. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us wherever you might be, in your car, in your home, or on YouTube, or in your various homes, or in your various assemblies today. Wherever you might be, we appreciate your time. We appreciate you joining us today, and fellowshipping with us today. All right, we're going to get right into our lesson. If you don't know the name of the title of the lesson, it is The Raging Heathen. The Raging Heathen. Praise to the Most High. Hope everybody had a good week, restful Shabbat that came in last night, you got your prayer and your praise on. As it says, the Sabbath came in, and you're ready to get your study on, and we're gonna get into this word and get into this lesson. All right, the raging heathen. All right, let's get our first scripture, Revelations 12 and 12. Revelations 12 and 12.
Revelation 12, verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you.
Come on.
Having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
So the devil, it says, has come down to you. And when most people who are not in the truth, or people that are not aware of who the devil is incarnated on earth, they picture a little red entity with a pitchfork and a long tail, something that somebody that made up. But that's what that's not what this scripture is talking about. This is talking about a real live human entities that live on earth, human beings that live on earth. And they have great wrath because they know that their time is short. Their rulership on earth is short. All right. Let's get 1 Thessalonians. 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter. We're going to start at verse 1.
1 Thessalonians 5:1.
Come on.
But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you.
So Paul says, of the time and of the season, you have no need, brethren, that I write unto you. And here's why. He's going to explain why. Someone get the door. You're going to explain why. Verse 2.
For yourself know perfectly that the day of Most High so cometh as the thief of the night.
Mm-hmm. For you yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Almighty shall come as a thief in the night. As a thief in the night. Now, when you imagine a thief coming, you imagine a thief being stealthy or taking things without notice. You're not even aware that it's gone. That's how thieves come. You know what I'm saying? You say, oh my goodness, my wallet's missing. Oh my goodness, my wallet's missing. you've been took by the thief. You don't even know it's gone. Thieves are stealthy. So that's why the apostle is describing the day of the Almighty, or because it creeps up on you. You don't even know it's happening. Those of you that do not understand the signs of the time or the season of the time. That's why he says, I have no need to write unto you the signs of the times or the seasons, because you know full well what's going on. That's why he said that, right? Because if you understand what's happening, it won't catch you like the old folks used to say back in the day. He won't catch you with your work undone. What you know about it? He won't catch you with your work undone. He won't, pop up on you. Right? But for some of us, well, I should say some of you, he might catch you with your work undone. Acts 1:7. Acts 1:7. We lay this foundation down. Because folks the nations are angry because they they can see what's coming. You can feel it. There's something in the air. There's a changing of the guard. There's a shifting of a power change, right? They can see it. It's coming. Acts 1:7.
1:7.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father hath put in his own power.
Which the Father has put in his own power. Now you can go to this scripture, Acts 1:7, right here, and disprove to the Christian that Jesus is God right here. Because this is the Messiah talking right here. So you mean to tell me that God is something he doesn't know? God is all-knowing, right? But right here, the Messiah says the Father put that in his own power to know when the day and the times is. I don't know. Can you imagine asking the Messiah something? He said, "Oh, I don't know." Oh, I don't know. You gotta ask my daddy. I don't know. Those times and those seasons, the Father has in his own power. He knows the time and the season when he tapped the Messiah and say, "Okay, it's time. Go ahead." Okay. Let's go to Matthew. Matthew 12. But because we don't know the exact time, that doesn't mean we can't feel the season. You understand what I'm saying? You may not know the time, because you know what? You can't tell Negroes the time. The Most High can't let you know when he coming. He'll be like, I'll be there September 11th at 12 noon, right? You can't tell. You gonna stand all the way up to September 11:59. '59, you're gonna be like, Father, please forgive me. And you're sitting the whole time. Matthew 12:39.
And Matthew 12, verse 39. When he answered and said unto them, an evil and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign.
Come on.
And there shall no sign be given to it, but the sign of the prophet Jonah.
The evil generation, he's speaking to a future generation here. That often when the Messiah was talking, he was always talking about a future generation. He wasn't just merely speaking of the generation in front of him, although many of the people in front of him was going to be regenerated into the last generation. You understand what I'm saying? He was speaking to a future generation. He said to an evil and adulterous generation, guess what? There's only going to be one sign given. It's going to be one sign given. And that's going to be the sign of Jonas the prophet. Jonah, prophet Jonah. Read verse 40.
For after there was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly,
Come on.
so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart.
That's the only sign. And that's the only way you're going to be able to believe, because you ain't going to see no splitting of the sea. You ain't going to see no stopping of the sun. You ain't going to see no walking on the water. You ain't going to see those things. What you're going to have to do is believe on me like the scripture has said. That's the only sign I'm going to give you. Because in these last days, your faith is really going to be tested. We're going to see if you really believe. It's going to take your faith. That's the only sign I'm giving. Let's go back to 1 Thessalonians. For us as believers, those of us as faith, we see in the world what's going on. We see what's happening in Palestine and in Israel and in Iran. We see what's happening in Russia. We see what's happening in all of these various nations. We see the rage that's in it. Why do you think all these people are fighting and fussing? Everybody I just named, aren't these people the ones that's on top? Aren't they? They got all the money. They own all the banking systems. They own all of the oil. They own everything. Why are they in such array? Why are you so mad? You own everything, right? Why are you at odds with one another? Why is the heathen raging? You mad? Oh, the devil done came down. The devil done came down because he knows his time. He only got a little bit of time left. He don't want it to be a little bit of time, but the Most High is making sure you understand you only got a little bit of time before the true kings of the earth take this thing over. 1 Thessalonians 5:3.
1 Thessalonians 5:3. But when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction coming upon them.
Read that part again. Read that part again.
But when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction coming upon them.
All right, stop. Now, we seen what happened last week, right? Right? As we was breaking down Isaiah, the 14th chapter, and we showed you the bomb that was coming out of the belly of the cockatrice. We seen it as soon as we taught it 15 minutes later. Newsflash, bomb that came out of the cockatrice and they hit Iran, right? Right? What happened? Ceasefire. Nah. Yeah. As soon as he did it, boom, we hit it and he said, now we can talk about peace. Right? Right? Peace and safety, right? But the scripture tells us here, for when men shall say peace and safety, then, come on, Deke, what does it say? Sudden destruction. You think they hold funerals yesterday and today from what happened last week. You think it's all good now? You really think you bombed them? You killed some of the top generals. Israel went crazy on them. They seen the green light. Once America got involved, they got the green light to go, right? It even made Trump mad. He even was mad. He said, I can't believe Israel just dropped all them bombs. Y'all didn't see that? You had the devil himself get mad. The other devil. Can't believe they just did that. You can't. They're controlling you. Netanyahu said, I need some bombs dropped. Trump said, I don't know about that. Next thing you know, bombs was dropped. Who controlling who over here? Right? He was mad when it happened, right? So now they want to have peace talks, peace and safety. But when men cry peace and safety, sudden destruction will come. Check this out. Check this next line out. Read on.
I'm sorry. There's sudden destruction coming upon them. Upon a woman with child.
As travail upon us. That's an important statement right there. As travail upon a woman with child. So what is happening right before the baby bursts forth out of a woman? And it's just crazy to use those words, huh? Burst forth. What is happening? What is happening with a woman before the baby comes forth? Contractions and pain. But those contractions don't just stay there the whole time. She just they subside, right? You have pain, right? I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm asking the mothers in here. I'm asking. Yeah. So they subside, right? And then they increase in pain, right? They increase the closer you get to it bursting forth, right? The baby bursting forth. Oh, the head. The shoulders is something else, right? So the prophet is describing what is happening the same way. You have a little scrimmage here, a little scrimmage there, a little tug there, a little tug here. It's gonna be, it's happening in the society. Just like when a woman travails. No, you're only 2 meters dilated. We got to get the 4, right? Oh, you got to get the 10. Oh, my fault. I don't know. Oh no. I'm only at 4. Oh, it goes down. That's what happened with these wars. The same thing happens in the wars. They paint it broad and you say, oh, here it comes. And then it subsides. Goes back down. And then let's have peace talks. They're doing some other stuff. And then when that big one comes, they say, all right, we're gonna settle it. We're gonna have that peace and that safety like never before. It's gonna be excellent. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be excellent. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be unique. It's gonna be historical making. It's gonna be then sudden destruction. Read on, D. When you stop laughing, read on. Come on.
But she I'm not in darkness.
Mm-hmm. Wait a minute, where you at?
4.
Read verse 3 again. Yeah.
For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction coming upon them. After the woman with child. And they shall not escape.
And they shall not escape. Verse 4.
When I'm not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief.
And that day shall overtake you as a thief. And we say it again. Read verse 4 again. Because the prophet is saying, he's saying a lot of things in these 2 verses. These 2 verses. Verse 4 again, watch this. But you, brethren, because now it's switched. I was talking about the devil. That's what he was saying. I was talking about the devil when the destruction is coming. I was talking about the devil and how you are going to be able to see and analyze the season and the time of what the devil was doing, how he came down and what was going to be happening, and how you can measure certain events. That's what he was talking about in verse 4. But when you get verse 3, when you get to verse 4, he said, but ye, brethren, he's talking about the believer now. You, brethren, are not in darkness, because you understand what's happening. You should understand what's happening. You should, I should say, that the day should not overtake you as a thief, because you know the time and you know the season. And you know how to recognize the devil when you see him. You should. The Bible declares that there's going to be some type of catastrophic event, some global phenomenon. At some point, it's going to start to spark the flames of fire, stoking the flames of war. The Bible teaches us not to fear. The fear is for the faithless. And our job, brothers and sisters, is to watch and to pray. So you and I better start paying attention to what's happening. We can't afford to have our minds in the clouds looking around. La-da-dee, la-da-dee. We don't understand what's happening. We don't understand how to discern the time. We don't understand how to discern the season. We just hear. I guess I'm an Israelite. You get. You don't know what that means? Matthew 24, right quick. Let's go to verse 37. I'm not going to include myself in this. I'm just include fictitious Israelites. All right. This is for some of you fictitious Israelites. Nobody in here, right? Hopefully nobody in here and nobody under the sound of my voice. This is some fictitious Israelites. Okay. Matthew 24. And people that be talking on the mic, they be coming in on the mic when you be saying stuff, they be telling on themselves. I just want y'all to know. Matthew 24 and 37.
Matthew 24, verse 37. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
Just like the days of Noah was, it's going to be just like that when the Son of Man comes. Read.
Whereas in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage.
Come on.
Until the day that Noah entered into the ark.
They were doing just what they wanted to do until Noah entered into the ark. Noah kept on saying, hey, listen, judgment is coming. Just like many of the teachers today on today, these Shabbat classes and services, the different teachers that we're doing, we're saying, hey, judgment is coming. Judgment is coming. But many of you is going to be like the day of Noah. The same thing is going to be happening. They're going to be drinking and marrying and giving in married and having a good time and having a ball and not even thinking about or discerning, watch this, discerning the time or the season. They can't see it. I'm just doing me and I'm doing my thing. Verse 38 again. Verse 38.
24:38. But in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark.
Come on.
And he took the flood and took them all away.
Come on.
So also shall the Son of Man be.
When he come, he gonna come as a thief in the night. When he come, he ain't gonna say, oh, Christ is coming. Oh, the Messiah is coming. You're gonna be like, oh, he came already? And gone? Maybe I could swim over there. Wait a minute, he left me? I didn't go. You know, Paul wrote, when he come, he's coming as a thief in the night. That means you unaware he came. The Messiah says it's going to be just like the day of Noah, when that judgment came. And Noah kept saying, judgment coming, judgment's coming, judgment's coming. And they were eating, drinking, partying, having a good time. Nobody paying attention to the season. Nobody said, "Do that feel like rain? Is it cloudy?" Is that a vertical uprising I see? It's kind of humid out here. Vertical uprising. What's the barometer? Humidity at 66%. It's about to storm. I should have been a meteorologist. It's getting ready to storm. And some of us is acting like we don't see it coming. We eating and drinking and partying. You still won't change. You still breaking laws. You still acting like I'll get it together next week. You ain't got time. The season is now. The season is now. The season is now. Right now. Because when you go on my phone for scripture breakdown and I don't answer, I'm gone. I'm gone. Out of here. Next time you see me, I'm gonna have a cape on. I'm gonna be super Bishop Yazoo. Y'all funny, man. Y'all crack me up. All right, let's get Ecclesiastes 38-34. Because everybody think there's a delay. It's not a delay. The Father is on time. He's on time. Don't you think that don't you ever think that there's a delay in the coming. He's right on time. And now's the time where he's giving you the mercy. He's giving you the grace and the mercy to get your act together. And some of you are taking advantage. You're taking advantage. He's giving you time to get your situation together. He's giving you teachers. He's giving you elders. He's giving you people in your life to say, hey, get your act together because of the coming of the Messiah. Don't think it's just don't stay in that sweet spot. Don't you know when a woman is travailing and she's going through labor pains and she's not pressing forth at that time. She's not laboring at that point. She got a little reprieve, a little rest, right? You got a little rest time. But in that rest time, you got to still be doing something. You got to be working towards a goal, an initiative. You have to put forth some effort to do something. Because he's coming and he's going to reward you for your work. Whether that work be good, whether it be, he's going to judge you accordingly. Ecclesiastes 38-34.
Yes, 38-34.
Mm-hmm.
But they will maintain the sake of the world.
Come on.
And all their desire is in the work of their craft.
And all their desire is in the work of their craft. When Satan comes, when the heathen comes, he's coming to maintain the state of the world that he would like to see. He wants to remain on top. Do you blame this man for fighting so hard to stay on top? You don't think they know the scriptures? They know the scriptures. They know the scriptures better than y'all. Oh, yeah. They fighting hard to stay on top. I know in Detroit, we have it is the largest population of Arab Americans is in Detroit, in and around Detroit area, right? So when I first came into the truth, and I would go into these gas stations, stores, they would be looking at me, they might ask me a little something. They say, who told you you was an Israelite? I remember my wife, she was working at Access, and it was like the Arab American, I don't know, I forgot the name of it, but they'd be looking at us, you know what I'm saying? They looking at me like, you know, and they asked her, who told your husband he was a Hebrew? Who told your husband that? You know, didn't they ask you that? Yeah. Yeah. So they know. It's not like they don't know. It's you don't know. It's we that don't know. I remember when me and Deacon Keith was standing out in the park, and I think Sister Danielle was out there too. And one of them walked past us. It's an Arab guy, and he kind of looked like a white guy. He walked past. He heard us talking, and he came right back. He came right back. He said, "Yeah, we know y'all the real Jews." He said, "Them people over there don't belong over there." He said, "Y'all the ones." The keeper said, "I wish I could have recorded that," because they know. They know, and because they know the scriptures, right? And if you know the scriptures, they know the scriptures said that the sons of Jacob are supposed to rule the world, right? And if you know that, wouldn't you want the sons of Jacob not to know who they are? Because you want to stay on top. So they maintain the state of the world through their policies. Their policies are their laws. They maintain the state of the world through their philosophies. The philosophies is the interpretation of said laws. But the scripture tells us to be vigilant through it all. Let's get Philippians 1:28. Philippians 1:28. Somebody's on there. I'm hearing them. I want everybody to mute except for Deacon Keeper.
Philippians 1:28.
Yep. Philippians 1:28.
And another purified by your adversaries,
Mm-hmm.
which is to them the evident token of perdition,
Mm-hmm.
of you of salvation, and that of Yah.
Read it one more time.
And in nothing terrified of your adversaries.
In nothing terrified of your adversaries, because we remain vigilant and we see what they are doing. We see the laws that they're putting forth. We see that. And nothing terrified by our adversaries. We don't be terrified, but remain vigilant. Come on.
Which is to them an evident token of perdition.
Listen, he talking slick right here. Our vigilance in the face of our enemies to say, come what may, we are the children of Israel and keeping these laws. You know what that is? That's evidence that they're going to die. That's actually what he just said. It's evidence of their damnation, their destruction. You and I, the more they see us, that's why they though they actually hate this. They hate we starting to keep the Most High's laws. And they starting to see more of the children of Israel wake up to this truth. They hate this. You know why? It's evidence of it's about to end for us. It's our demise. It's our demise. All right, let's get Psalm 64:1. Scrap that. Let's get let's get Lamentations. Lamentations 4:17.
Lamentations 4:17.
Yeah. And then we're gonna get into the lesson. Lamentations 4:17.
That's for us. And get hell for our man. And now watching, we have watched for a nation that cannot save us.
And we have watched for a nation that could not save us. Many of our people have rejected the Most High's laws and went for a nation that could not save us, and are watching. So we're going to do what the heathen does. And it's to our own demise and our own destruction. In spite of all our efforts as a group they could not and will not save us. We come into this truth with the same fear of failure and rejection. Coming here the same way. But the Most High is in control. And you have to believe that the Most High is in control. Now, let's get into it. Psalms 2 and 1. Y'all thought I was kidding. I really wasn't in the lesson yet. Psalms 2 and 1.
Psalms 2 verse 1.
Yeah.
Why is the heathen rage? And the people imagine a vain thing?
So why is it that the heathen rage? Is he so angry? And why does he imagine a vain thing? You know, when the scripture says that he imagined a vain thing, he imagined himself on top. And it's vain. It's to his own demise, his own destruction. Because the Most High didn't choose you to be on top. He didn't choose to put you there. So to rage means to be violent, uncontrollable, to be angry. Y'all see our president dropped them F-bombs? Well, it was mad, wasn't it? They don't know what the heck they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. Oh boy, dropping them F-bombs, boy, man. They imagine a vain thing because that vain thing is nothing. It produces a result of uselessness. You the devil. And he made you specifically to be the devil. Yeah. And he put you on earth for your own destruction and your own demise. Psalms 2 and 4. Drop down to verse 4.
Psalms 2 verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh.
Mm-hmm.
The Most High shall laugh, and the rich.
Isn't that funny? Listen to that scripture says, he that sitteth in the heavens. It's talking about the Most High. The Most High sitting in heaven laughing at the heathen. You can't tell people this. I dare you to go teach this in the church. What? You mean to tell me God is laughing at people? Yeah. He made you ridiculous. He made you ridiculously. Yes. Have you ever seen the nose on a white man? That's funny. That nose is funny. Hard to breathe. That's why they don't run fast. You can't get no oxygen. Hard to breathe in that thing. You wouldn't get no oxygen either if you just had two slits in your face. Two tiny little slits in your face. You're vitamin D deficient. You can't absorb vitamin D from the sun because the sun rejects you. You can't taste food real good. Season your food. You can't taste food because you ain't got no lips. You know. God hates you. He created something he hated. Is there evil in the city and he has not done it? He tells you, I created that thing. I created that thing right there. That's right. The Most High went to the back of the store and got some sulfur, put that thing together. The Most High says he laughed at them and put them in derision. That's why Job said, when he seen it, Job said, I can't believe that this is the man to put us in derision. Him? He over us. This man is not good enough to sit with my dogs. But the Most High put us under him and abased us because of our disobedience. Okay, you want to be like that thing? I'm going to put you under that thing. And I'm going to put that devil over you. And he did. I'm going to say something and make an announcement that probably puts me on that list. Mr. White Man, God hates you. And he's constantly at war with you. The Bible teaches us that. And it's not me I'm just trying to get Israelites to understand. I'm trying to get you to understand the mindset of the Most High and what he feels about us versus what he feels about them. Now, you don't have to act upon his hatred. You don't have to go up to every Edomite or white person you see and say, God hates you, so therefore, I hate you too with your no lip slit nose having son, can't take your wet dog smelling sofa. You can't, No, that's not what I'm saying. You don't have to act ugly or unseemly. Just know what it is. I know the truth. I know the truth. He loves me and hates you. Exodus 17-16. You don't believe me, do you? There's some of y'all that don't believe me. Y'all don't believe me. Exodus 17-16.
Exodus 17, verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
Where it said, because the Most High sworn that he will have war with from generation to generation.
From generation to generation upon generation upon generation, he's at war with Amalek. Who's Amalek? Let's get Genesis 36:9. We're going to kind of move a little faster. Genesis 36:9. Who's Amalek?
This is 36.
The one.
These are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites, and Mount Seir.
Read.
These are the names of Esau's sons. Eliphaz, the son of Ada, the wife of Esau. Reuel, the son of Bethel, the wife of Esau, and the son of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, Dan, Kenaz, and Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bare Eliphaz Amalek.
And she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. These were the sons of Ada, Esau's wife. So this Amalek is of Edom. He's a son of Edom. Let's get Numbers 24:18. Let's go further into who Amalek is. Numbers 24:18.
Numbers 24, verse 18.
Let's see.
And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for their families. And Israel shall be valiant.
Read.
Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city.
Okay, let's see. Verse 20.
And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever.
That his latter end meaning that Amalek will be here at the end of time. Amalek will be here at the end of time. Amalek is the first of the Edomite nation. Amalek is the top dog within the Edomite nation. So can anybody guess who's the top dog of the Edomite nation? The Jewish. This is Amalek. And we're going to prove some stuff further. The so-called Jewish people are the children of Edom through the line of Amalek. Can we get the slide 2? Slide 2. Let's do a little bit of history right quick. Okay, this is the historical account from Flavius Josephus. Within the antiquities of the Jews. This is the book 13, section 9, chapter 9, section 1. This is during the reign of John Hyrcanus the first. Now, it's a lot of history to cover, so I'm going to kind of like give you a shorthand of it. So John Hyrcanus was during the time of the Maccabees. The Maccabees took over Israel again when they made the Edomites convert into Judaism. So what I mean by convert, or what I mean by Judaism, is they made them keep our laws. Okay, instead of wiping them completely out, they made them keep our laws. So John Hyrcanus, he waged war against all of Edom and subdued many of them, making them conform to the customs of the Jews, the Israelites, in order to stay in the land of Petra, Mount Seir, where they were originally from, because we read that in Genesis, the 36th chapter. This caused many of the Edomites to become circumcised and to learn many of the laws and customs of Israel. Now, I don't know why our forefathers and the Levitical priests, I don't know why they didn't just wipe them out. I guess it wasn't the plan of the Most High, but brought them near to wiping them out and then subdued them and made them keep our laws. So we're going to read that. You can also find this bit of history in First Maccabees, the 16th chapter, 1 and 2. We won't go into that because we've got a lot of scripture to cover. Let's get Esther. Esther, the 18th chapter. We can see that our forefathers did this many of times. Repeatedly, they did this. It's the reason why we have so-called Jewish people today, because of what our forefathers did. Right? We can come out of that slide and go to Esther, the book of Esther, chapter 8 and verse 17.
Esther 8:17.
Uh-huh.
And in every province and in every city, whithersoever the king's commandment and the decree came, the Jews had joy and gladness, a feast and a good day. And many of the people of the land became Jews.
Stop. Read it again.
And many of the people of the land became Jews.
And many of the people of the land became Jews, meaning they begin to keep our laws. They begin to keep our laws. Come on.
For the fear of the Jews fell upon them.
Because we were wiping them out. So when we had wars with them, they would say, we submit. Oh, we submit. We submit. Where's the knife? Circumcise me. Circumcise me, and I'm going to keep Sabbath, and I'm going to have clean foods. I'll eat clean foods. That's what it means. Don't mean that the nationality changed. Don't mean that they became spiritual Israelites. Just mean that they submitted to our rulership. Okay, did you give me the next one? The next, I thought you put up the next slide. I thought you put up the next slide. Did you? Okay. This is Josephus, the 14th book, 15th chapter, and section 2. Herod was considered to be a half Jew. Now, Herod was a descendant of John Hyrcanus. Does this mean that he was a Jew by blood? No. According to the Oxford Bible Atlas, page 84, it states that Herod was a Jew by religion. By religion, meaning he submitted to our laws. He submitted to our laws. He wasn't a native Jew. He wasn't Judean. His nationality wasn't an Israelite. He followed our laws. He was a non-Jewish descent, but possessed, watch this, an understanding of the Jews' customs. His children was also taught the laws and customs of the Israelites. All right, let's come out of that. Let's go to Acts 26 and 1. Verses 1, 2, and 3. Acts 26, 1, 2, and 3.
Then Agrippa said to Paul, Thou art permitted to speak for thyself. Then Paul stretched forth a hand and answered for himself.
And Paul answered for himself. Come on.
So the king Agrippa, because I shall answer for myself this day before thee, touching all the things whereof I am accused of the Jews.
Read.
Especially because I know thee to be expert in all customs and questions which are among the Jews. Wherefore I beseech thee to hear me patiently.
So why was Agrippa, King Agrippa, why was he an expert? Why was he an expert of all customs and all questions which are among the Jews? Why was he an expert? Why was he an expert?
Because he studied.
Because he studied our customs and he grew up with us. Agrippa was an Edomite who went to our schools. Remember, his father was Herod. And Herod came from Antipater, who the Maccabees converted to what's known as Judaism today. So he grew up in our schools. So let's go to let me get Acts 13 and 1 right quick. Acts 13 and 1.
Acts 13 verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now there were in the church there was an Antioch, certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Niger.
Mm-hmm. So,
Simeon,
the Niger is a nice way of putting it today, but that word is nigger. That word is nigger. A Niger is how they say it today, but nigger wasn't a derogatory word. It just meant black, dark, or by the Nigger River, the Niger, so-called Niger River. All right, come on.
and Lucius of Cyrene.
Mm-hmm.
And
Where's Serene at? Where's Serene? Anybody tell me what's Serene at? Look it up. Let's see what's Serene. So it's like right above Northern Africa, right? Yeah. Right above Northern Africa, right? Okay. Read on.
and which had been brought up with Herod, the tetrarch, and so.
So let's read it again. Let's read it again so we get a complete understanding. Let's read it again. Acts 13 and 1.
Now that in the church, there was certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Niger, and Lucius of Cyrene, and Manaen, which had been brought up with Herod, the tetrarch, and Saul. Right?
So all of these men went to school together, but who else was there at the school? Who sticks out to you that's different from the rest of the men? Herod.
So,
No, Herod. Herod. He was there too. He's a descendant of Herod the Great, who was an Edomite. So why did King Agrippa know our customs and laws? Because he had been taught our customs and our laws. Let's get the next image 4. Because we need to know where these devils come from, right? We need to know where these devils come from. Did anybody see that chart? Herod the Great and his descendants. Can you see that chart? We got Herod the Great. He reigned from 37 BC. This is the Matthew 2. This is the one that killed, tried to kill Christ. This Herod. Let's see who his wives are. Excuse me. And you can see his descendants. Alexander, Aristobulus, Herod, Philip the First, Herod Antipas, Philip the Second, Herod of Chalcius. We're gonna go into Herod of Chalcius. We're gonna go into that. That's very important. Then you have Agrippa the First, Agrippa the Second. You have Bernice, Drusilla. These are all Edomites. These are all Edomites who those so-called Jews descend from today. I want y'all to understand that. These are all Edomites who those so-called Jews descend from today. All right, let's come out of that slide. Let's get Daniel 11 and 14. Daniel 11 and 14.
Daniel 11, verse 14. And in those times there shall men stand up against the king of the south.
Mm-hmm.
Also to exalt themselves to establish vision, but they shall fail.
Let's read it again. Verse 14. You kind of faded out a little bit. Let's read it again and give me image number 5, if you will. Image number 5, Daniel 11 and 14.
11 and 14. And in those times there shall many stand up against the king of the south.
Mm-hmm.
Also the prophets of thy people shall exalt themselves to establish the vision, but they shall fail.
But they shall fall. Now look at the image. In those times are there shall many stand up against the king of the south. The king of the south is in Edom. Also the robbers, these king of the south. The king of the south is also the robbers. The king of the south is also the robbers of thy people. They are also the robbers of thy people. Watch this. And shall exalt themselves to establish the vision. What is the vision? What vision are they exalting themselves to establish? What is it? One world? No. What vision what vision they're making themselves establish? That they are the children of Israel. That they're saying that we are the children of Israel and that we are the people. We are the people. We are the peculiar people. We are the people of God. We are the people that's on top. Why did he call them robbers of thy people? Why did he call them robbers?
They stole everything.
Because they stole our history, our heritage, our culture, our land. This is the Daniel, the prophet Daniel prophesying the king of the south in Edom. Also, who are the robbers of thy people shall exalt themselves to establish the vision of being the children of Israel. But the scripture says they shall fall. Okay, let's come out of there. Let's come out of there. Let's get the next image. This is from the Jewish Virtual Library, which many of you, we looked at King Agrippa II. This is from the Jewish Virtual Library. Many people would not go to this because they think, oh, this is Jewish. It don't mean you have to go into what's going on. Okay, Agrippa II. Marcus Julius of Herod Agrippa II, 28 through 92 CE, last king of the Herodian line. But the last king of the Herodian sign, son of Agrippa I. Like his father, he was educated in Rome, and he was there when he learned of his father's death. The Emperor Claudius refused to let him succeed on the account of his youth. His uncle, Herod II of Chalcias. Now we see in the chart, we see on the chart Herod of Chalcias. Remember I said pay attention to that? Herod of Chalcias. Herod of Chalcias. He died in the year 48, and Agrippa received this small kingdom. Agrippa received this small kingdom 2 years later. Agrippa's coins indicate that he reckoned his reign from the year 50. During his reign, he was accorded the title king, although at no time was he king of Judea, as his father had been. Claudius entrusted to him the supervision of the temple in Jerusalem and gave him the right to appoint the high priest. In 54, he ruled over Chalcias. His rule over Chalcias was brought to an end. So let's get the next image. Image number 7, I believe it is. That's the coin right there. I'm just giving you hands-on proof of certain things because people want to see it. These are the coins they found in a certain region, and we're going to go in that region. Herod of Chalcias, Aristobulus of Chalcias, same family, reigned over territories outside of Judea with the title of king as Roman clients. So they were no longer as close to Rome anymore, but Rome put them in a certain region to rule and to govern in a certain area. These are the proving that these people existed and they were there. These are the Herodians that we read about in Matthew, that we read about in Acts. But where did they go? This is the whole point. You have to, when you do history, you have to follow the track. Where did it lead you, and where does it take you? Who begat who? Who was doing it to who? Who had babies by who? Where did their babies go? You know, things was a little different. They weren't having freak off and leaving. It wasn't just baby all everywhere, and and they was gone off. It wasn't just, that was funny. Come on. All right. That was funny. I cracked myself up. Y'all don't laugh. Let's go to Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah. Isaiah 14 and 25. Now we kind of went through Isaiah 14 last week. We ain't going through it this week, but I had to go back here for a reason. Isaiah 14, 25 and 26.
14, 25 and 26. Mm-hmm. That I will break the Assyrian in my land, and form my mountains tread from underfoot. Then shall the yoke depart from off them, and his burden depart from off their shoulders.
Come on.
This is the purpose that is purposed upon the whole earth. And the hand that is stretched out upon all the nations.
This is a hand that is stretched out upon all nations because the Most High has set this thing in motion. He set it up. When John Hyrcanus I converted those Edomites, he set this thing in motion. The Edomites took over Judea, he set these things in motion. When the Messiah came to the earth and Herod, so-called Herod the Great, was in power over Judea, he set these things in motion. Why do you think they were interacting with one another like they was? Because Herod wasn't a Jew. This was an Edomite set up over the true children of Israel by the Romans, because they was in league with the Romans. There was a power shift. He set these things in motion. Did I send you the Zeus Greek off the beaten track? Did I send you that? I don't think I did.
No.
All right. All right. I'm gonna read it. And you can see it. I want that slide back up. I want that slide up.
The same one?
No, the Black Sea. All right. This is from Zeus, Greece off the beaten. Say it again. This is just the Zeus, Greece off the beaten track. A guide to Greek history. A guide to Greek history. Now, it reads, the city was a busy and influential commercial hub, handling and trading the raw materials produced in the north and eastern Greece. And in the Black Sea area, timber, grain, saltfish, precious metals, etc., which were headed to Athens, Corinth, Penelope, against the finished products, pottery, and olive oil, which returned from those centers back up to the same trade routes. Watch this. Chalcius. Have we heard that name before? Remember Herod of Chalcius? Lost my place looking at y'all. Chalcius did not trade. However, it set about energetically securing the trade routes for itself by planning a wide diaspora of colonies along them. Few Greek cities, in proportion to its size, could have given rise to a greater number of colonies than Chalcius. So many of the Macedonian peninsula between the Thermic and Trimonian Gulfs that the whole peninsula was called Chalcius. So this Black Sea area was once called Chalcius because all of the Herodians had been moved or displaced from Judea. The Romans took them out of Judea and placed them in the Black Sea area. In and around this whole area. Do y'all notice something? Do y'all notice where it's at? Georgia, Russia, Ukraine, Kyrgyz, Odessa, Moldova. All of these places is where the Herodian line went. Who else was up there? Who else was up there? What else do they call them white, so-called white Jews? What else do they call them besides Ashkenaz? What did Arthur Koestler call them? That gotta help me out now. I want you to see that, family. This is where they were. This is where they got pushed up to. So when you ask yourself the question, how did the Herodians or how did those so-called Jews, white Jews, they call themselves Jews, how did they get there? How did they get there? Because this is where they're from. How did they get there? All right, let's get to the next slide. Next slide. Image. This is from the book Chosen People from the Caucasus by Michael Bradley. And it reads, this is the forward. It says, today, a large number of Black Americans think of the Jews as people of the book, and they look more favorable on them than on other Caucasians. Now, did you see the Candace Owens interview? Not Candace Owens, I'm sorry. Tucker Carlson interview with the senator. You see that? And yeah, somebody just answered me, didn't it? Yeah. So did y'all see that interview when he was saying, when he was like, explain to me how are we supposed to bless Israel? You know, I don't understand, right? So did you see that?
I say it was Mark Rubio.
Marco, was it Marco?
Was it?
No, it was Ted, the senator from Texas. Ted Bundy. Ted Cruz. Yeah, Ted Cruz. That's it. Ted Bundy. Yeah, Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz. Okay. It said, okay, let me finish reading. Today, a large number of Black Americans think of the Jews as people of the book, and they look more favorably on them than other Caucasians. These poorly informed Blacks do not know that the Jews of Europe played the same role in their enslavement, oppression, and colonization as other Europeans. It's a shame that our people don't know that. But this is a white guy that wrote this book. You understand? Yeah, give me the next slide. This is in the book, The Chosen People from the Caucasus, page 197. The essential point is that these Ashkenazim, the Jewry of Eastern Europe, and the prime victims of Hitler's Holocaust are descendants of Khazar tribe people. They were converts of Judaism. They have no historical or genetic connection with the biblical Jews of Palestine at all. That's the name I was looking for that y'all didn't say. Did y'all get it yet? What is it? Khazarian Jews. I wanted y'all to say it. I didn't want to say it. Right? Genetic connection with the biblical Jews of Palestine at all. And this was known among themselves and among the more astute Jewish and non-Jewish historians and linguists from at least 1700 AD. It was well known if disguised or ignored fact of Jewish life. From 1850 onward, most of what we, quote unquote, Gentiles, in North America considered to be Jewish, and most of what even the Ashkenazi immigrants into America considered to be Jewish is not Jewish at all. I can't see that word.
The Hellenistic.
And then what's the next word?
Sidewalks.
Okay. The Hasidic side locks, the skull cap, which is the yarmulke, the rabbis, the what? The rabbis, the future trim, the what? Can somebody read that for me? I can't see it. Can somebody read that for me?
The rabbis' fur trimmed hats and coffins.
Geltovich.
None of that is Jewish.
None of that is Jewish. Come on.
Not in the sense that it originated from the people of Abraham in ancient Palestine. It is all Khazar. It reflects traditions of steep tribesmen who never had anything to do with biblical Hebrews.
Wow. Nothing to do with it. And this is a white guy that's saying that, right? Can we get the next slide? Yeah, keep reading for me.
Page 230. But when we now consider that 95% of the Jews in the modern world are Ashkenazim, their claim to a Jewish homeland in Palestine becomes absurd, grotesque. They are descended from Caucasus converts to Judaism, nothing more, and have no genetic or historical connection with Palestine at all. The case of Zionism is no different from, say, a group of pre-Indians from northern Canada become converted to Catholicism, and then Catholicism, and then demanding a piece of the Vatican as a pre-converts to Judaism, nothing more, and have no genetic or historical connection with Palestine at all. The case of Zionism is no different from, say, a group of Cree Indians from North. I think it's the same. Israel was deceived by Ashkenazi Jews to address their delusions, to feed that insatiable desire for identity in time. Israel was established by deceiving the rest of the world, but particularly the North American public.
So they were deceived, particularly North American public, right? So let's go to the next slide. This book has some good stuff in it. Next slide.
The world is presently facing many crises, not just the Arab-Israeli one. And if we look at these crises with total objectivity, we will see that all of them, at base, derive from Caucasoid behavior, Caucasoid values, and Caucasoid psychology. Nuclear war, environmental pollution, resource wastage, all have reached a critical mass and have become threats to our survival because of Caucasoid evolution.
Wow. Because of a Caucasoid evolution, the world is in danger. and a white guy wrote this. Yeah. He's essentially writing, we're the problem. Let's get Matthew 7-6. Matthew 7-6, because these Khazars, these Herodians, the Messiah says something very, very key about them. In Matthew 7-6 chapter. You there, D?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Verse 6. Give that which is holy unto the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Neither cast ye your pearls before swine.
Neither cast your pearls before swine. Come on.
Lest they trample them under their feet
Mm-hmm.
and rend
You turn again and rend you. So let's go to the Strong's 2:23-86, and let's look up the word Kaiser or Kaiser.
What's that number?
Strong's 2. Strong's 2386. Wow. Page.
That's right up.
Strong's, is it 2386? Strong's 2386. It should be CHAZIYR. Anybody get it? You got it? Can he? Oh, did you get it?
Yes.
Okay. I thought I seen you pull it up. $23.86 Khazar. Let's get the let's see what it means. Let's get the pig or swine. Let's read the scripture again.
Matthew 7:6. Give not that which is holy unto the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Your pearls before swine.
And don't cast what is yours, your good, before the Khazars, the pigs, the swine. Oh, you laugh. Come on.
lest they trample them under their feet.
And let the Kaiser take your pearls and tramp them under their feet. Unless the Kaiser take your pearl, take what is yours, and trample it under their feet. Come on.
And turn again and rend you.
And turn on you and rend you, the true Israelite. Do anybody else see that besides me? All right. Let's get Revelations 3 and 9. Well, put something in your mind is like drilling the goodness. Revelation 3 and 9.
Revelation 3 and 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, who say Jews and are not.
They are not Jews. Come on. But they lie, read.
Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved.
I love you. I love you. I don't love them Kaisers. I don't love them heathens. I put the little splits in their nose for a reason. Hard to breathe. When it's humid outside, they got to stay in. Can't breathe. Isaiah 60 and 14. I love you, Israel. Come on. Isaiah 60 and 14. We're almost done. Isaiah 60 and 14.
Verse 60, verse 14. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come begging unto thee.
Come on.
And all these shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and call thee the city of the Most High.
Read.
The Holy One of Israel.
If this hasn't happened yet, I want them brothers to notice on the street corners that got crazy white people down on the ground kissing their feet. You are still oppressed by them. They kissing your feet, but you still oppressed by them. Look at what we doing, and then after they get done kissing your shoe, you go to work for them. You go to cutting their grass and cutting their trees and working in their factories and going to bake and asking them for loans. Nigga, you still work for them. Revelations 2 and 9.
Revelation 2, verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation, and not.
Come on.
But thou rich.
Come on.
And I know the black who say they are Jews.
I know the blasphemy of those Kaisers, those swines, those dogs, those pigs who say they are Jews and are not. Come on. But they are the assembly of Satan. Yeah, and the devil knows that he has but a short time. And he's flexing right now. He got a short time. Y'all ain't seen the laws on the books. Y'all ain't seen the laws on the books about what you can and can't say about Jews, right? You ain't see that? You can't say nothing now. You can't say they control the music industry. You can't say they control the movie industry. You can't say they control the banking system. You can't say nothing about it. I done said everything in this lesson. Anything I could think of. The first thing crossed my mind: dogs, pigs, swine. No good. All right. Last scripture, Deuteronomy 31 and 3. Deuteronomy 31 and 3. We're going to read on down to verse 6. I love the Most High. He loves me. He loves us. Deacon, unmute yourself.
Unmuted. 31, 3 through 6. Yeah. He will go over before thee, and he will destroy these nations from before thee. As the Most High has said,
Read.
the Most High shall do unto them as he did to Simon and to OG, king of the Amorites, and to the land of them whom he destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
I shall give them up before your face.
Come on.
That ye may do. And you want them according to all the commandments which I commanded you.
So what did he command us to? What did he command us to do? He said, I shall do unto them according to all the commandments which I have commanded you to do to them. What did he command us to do? Go in and take over and destroy these nations. Come on, verse 6.
Be strong and of a good courage.
Mm-hmm.
Fear not, nor be afraid of them, for the Most High Yah. He what is that? He is that doeth, goeth. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee.
Nor forsake thee. Be strong and of good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them, for the Almighty thy Yah, he it is that doeth go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. All praises to the Most High. We're going to leave it right there. We're going to leave it right there because these heathens are raging. But when we get next, we're going to rage better. We're going to show them how it's done. We're going to rage a whole lot better. All praises. We're going to leave it right there. All right.
You and I as the Israelites, have to war within yourselves and against your own fleshly lust. You have to war with worldly temptation. With all the spiritual energy you can muster, war for the kingdom of Yah.
We aim and shoot scriptural bullets at demon troops. I'm just spitting truth. Look at yourself if it's staying in you. Release yourself from the lies and the doctrine you clinging to. Repenting mean the path that you walking, you see it through. That mean you gotta switch up your people leaving the crew. That mean you gotta watch what you say and watch what you do. But until you see the truth.